for people that are listening that don't really know the entertainment industry, you can write something and it can be optioned or even made and then get shelved. You know, Jana could write something. They could say love it. They buy it from her, and then they never make it.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. But
yeah, it is crazy.
People make a living, and they're like, I've never had anything produced.
Yeah, there are writers in LA that are living
but have
off their
very large houses.
Yeah.
So I just like to be somewhere in between there.
Yeah. But ideally, you want to get stuff made, and it's funny that it was Will Packer because I typed his name in last night when I kind of look at your background. Jana, God, I asked her a week ago to give me a list of things that she had done, and she waited till like the midnight hour to message me.
I was very, very busy. Yesterday,
it's fine.
Drinking rosé.
Deciding if she's even going to do the podcast.
No.
But she came.
I did.
And so I'm researching last night in order for this to occur. And Will Packer has a video where he's talking about getting shut down by every studio in Los Angeles when he was looking for his first movie. So I wanted to get it made. So I wanted to ask you about that because you told me you have that role in Reality High as Miss Savage, right? You actually use your real name, which is hilarious to me. And you did a great job in that.
Thank you.
You said even the producers for that made you audition for that role. Like they weren't just going to give it to you. You had to prove yourself. So I wanted you to mention a little bit about that, for people that are out there trying to do what you're doing. How many years did you hear no? How long did it take you before you finally felt comfortable that like, oh, I'm doing it?
I mean, I've been making a quote unquote living off it for 3 years, but even in that period of time, it's just in this like last year. It's funny because you have the highs are so highs and the lows are so low, and you have to like every once in a while I have to like stop and take stock of, if I'm feeling like frustrated, things become commonplace. Like a year ago or 2 years ago, it was hard for us to get people to read our scripts, you know? And so even that, the fact that we can get people, not everybody, but we're consistently able to at least get people to read our stuff is like huge, and so you keep building on every little victory. But I mean, I've been in LA for 13 years. Yeah. So, and I had different iterations of my career. Like I started out just acting, and then I started writing, but I was really focused on acting, and then that like gradually just shifted to like writing, producing, and acting kind of became third in line. I still love acting, but it's just a different love than writing. I can get lost in it in like a way that I can't with acting usually.
What are you going to focus on going forward more? Like if in 10, 15 years, would you rather have made it as professional writer, professional actress? What's the main?
Writer, producer, and I'd love to just be able to give myself like small roles and things. Yeah. It's just more fun to me. I don't know. There's so much pressure in acting to me that I just think I'm a little bit of a lazy actor. Yeah. I have like characters I like to do. Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting if it's something that I wrote like very specific, and I thought I could really play the role well. It'd be nice to have a project at some point where I could try to have a bigger part in it. Yeah. But it's also having some sort of creative control over a project. I mean, unless you're a very like known actor, you're gonna come in towards the end of the process, which is great because that means something's probably getting made, but you could just kind of be a hired gun, like come in and do your job and leave. At least now we're getting to a point where hopefully we're having a little bit more of a creative say in our projects. Yeah. And that's really exciting. But it's like you can never stop, which I think is part of the reason I do it, because I think I like that challenge. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm insane. Why am I doing this? Yeah. But apparently, I mean, I must like it.
Well, so do you, as we said, you kind of started with accounting. Yeah. At this point, do you have a plan B, or are you full tilt and this is it now? You are a writer, producer, actress for the rest of the time.
No, my only plan B is just like thinking about like, oh, when I have enough money, I'll have a goat farm.
Goat farm?
Yeah, and I don't know how profitable that'll be. I mean, I guess I could make goat cheese, but
if you have organic goat cheese, in LA. True.
But I would be doing it to like rescue goats and have goats and pigs.
Yeah, I feel like people would want to come pet the goats too. You can make some money at that.
Right, but then I have to be very careful because I'm not going to run a petting zoo. I'm an animal. I shouldn't say animal. Animals are great. I'm not a monster. Yeah. So I'd have to do it right. But yeah, I mean, things like that where I could either like, but those don't ever seem like money making sustainable schemes. So no, because there are times where like you're like, oh my god, if something doesn't happen, what if I don't make? Because you can like get paid on a movie and then not get paid for a year. Yeah. And so even if you're like responsible and you figure out a way to like be responsible about your money, you're still thinking about, well, what if I never get paid again?
Yeah. Well, it happens to everybody too, not just like the A-listers. I heard Jason Bateman the other day in an interview saying that obviously he was very famous, doing very well in the 80s, and he said in the 90s he was considering quitting. Yeah. And then luckily he got Arrested Development, and his whole career changed, and he was able to kind of, blossom into what he is now. I love him, by the way. I love Ozark. Great. Yeah. I'd do him too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not, that's the rub of it, because to make it, and it's just changing. You don't have to be in LA or New York anymore, but you still kind of do. Yeah. And people I even ran into it myself when I was in Brooklyn, paying $2,500 a month to climb a ladder to get above a stove into a little loft bed. Yeah, and you have this moment of like...
It's even crazier. That's way crazier than LA even.
Yeah, but you have this moment of like, can I do this when I'm in my 60s and 70s? Yep. And that's the tough part about it. Everybody thinks that entertainment is so glamorous, but it's really a labor of love. And I'd say 98% of people that work in it aren't famous, aren't rich, are doing it because they love the art. And people forget that. So I'm really proud of you that you are doing everything you're doing, because it takes a lot of guts to do.
Well, I just don't know what else I would do. Like at this point, you think like the times when you get like scared or whatever, it's not like there's another option for me. So that's helpful. Like, it's not like I have something else that I'm like equally passionate about. Yeah. So that is nice to not. In that way, no, I don't have a plan B, because I wouldn't be happy doing anything else. So it's helpful, except for maybe goats. Yeah. Goats would make me happy.
Which I think you should do regardless.
Oh, I will. They're great.
You need to incorporate dogs though as well. A dog, goat.
Well, yeah. I mean, clearly I would have dogs, goats, cows, chickens, pigs. Oh. All that stuff.
You just watched a segment of the show Chasms of the Mind. To see the full episode, click the link below.